The earlier sessions were mostly interactive. Questions were asked and answers were given. I don't have that style, so I'll be asking some question to myself and try to answer that, and you may find it a bit relevant as well. See, the first question is, suddenly all of us, why we are running after innovation once the 5G has come? That's a very pertinent question. 4G was there only a few years back. The service was launched, and it's still today in operation. But we were never running after that 4G and innovation together. The first answer is that 5G is an innovation multiplier. Why? Because it's the most perfect technology as we have got yet on this world. For example, even when the 4G is there or was there, the limitations like on-the-fly operation because of the high latency was not possible. You can't make a surgery with a 4G operation. The broadband speed was not guaranteed, but here on 5G we say it's 100 Mbps at guaranteed speed. The concentration of the devices, and often it happens by the time you move more towards the technological solution in every field. That was not covered in 4G, but 5G addresses all those issues. It gives you 100 Mbps guaranteed speed, a low latency up to the range of 1 millisecond, and you can understand how fast it is when an eye gleams at the speed of around 180 milliseconds. So it's quite fast even to make an operation far away from the city. And you might have seen a few days back how somebody sitting at Gurgaon has done a surgery. The person was somewhere in the south. The second important thing is that architecture is very much open and it is modular in design. So you have whoever wants to do some sort of innovation, want to develop his own system and get connected to the network, it's all possible. So these are the two most important things what 5G has got, and we consider that it is one of the most perfect technology as of now. And that's exactly why all out effort and everybody's intention is to do something with that 5G. The second thing, why at all that innovation word, we are adding with the 5G. I said it's an innovation multiplier, but basically this industrial revolution 4.0, the biggest catalyst is the 5G and the artificial intelligence. And the industrial events and the management, the entire paradigm is getting changed with the incorporation of the captive networks which is based on the 5G and the artificial intelligence. The second question, so much we talk about innovation, but where actually India stands globally? You might be knowing there is an international body, a specialized body of the United Nations, which is WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization. It gives a ranking which is called GII, Global Innovation Index. And you'll be surprised to know we are nowhere even in the first 10. We are the 39th country today in 2024. Whereas in 2015, we were the 81st country in terms of the global index of innovation. The first country in the global, as per the GII, is Switzerland. Second, Sweden, USA, South Korea, and the 10th country is China. And this is for the first time where China has entered into the first top 10. Germany was holding that position for the last 15 years. Now today China has entered, but we are at 39. Means a lot of roads yet to be traveled by India. So far we talk about the innovation. See, we want to talk about small of my experience. A long time back, we were basically searching for some sort of interoperability in the STBs. STB means the set-top box, what we use for the televisions. See, we went to Bangalore and what we understood that 80% of the software of all the STBs worldwide, it has been done by the techies in Bangalore. But till today, we do not have a single IPR. It was money, a non-disclosure agreement, and a legally valid contract. The IPRs have been sold. But today it is quite different. In 1980s, 1990s, We, India, we had brain, didn't have much money. But today we still have the brain, but there are many other countries which require money. For example, the saffron engine what we are buying is equivalent to something like a technology transfer with IPR, which has been sold to India. So these exercises will continue to happen, and that is another way how you basically gear up your innovation process. One more indicator that the WIPO, it releases every year, that is the WIPI, that is called basically World Intellectual Property Indicator. As per the 2024 result, the WPI basically means the number of the patents or the IPRs filed in a particular year. As per the 2024 result, the India ranks number 6. That is the plus side. When I say the cumulatively, the GII, the global indicator of innovation for India is 39. But in 2024, as per the number of the patents filed by India, now we are 6th in the world. And the total number is 64,480 number of patents that have been filed by India to get an IPR. So I think that's a tremendous amount of achievement if we talk of the IPR generation. And the third question actually, why it is so important to innovate, why at all we all should run for innovation, and why it is very critical for India. The first point is that the technologies are changing very fast. On an average, every 4 years, the technology gets obsolete. The total content, the knowledge content of the world, it gets doubled up every 6 years. So there is no other way to survive on this world if you are not constantly innovating, enhancing your knowledge, and it is survival of the fittest. Remember in 1980s and 1990s, the Toyota cars in USA, every third car out of the 10 used to be a Toyota car. Why it was? Because Toyota, they mastered the art of innovation. By the time you are using a version 1 of a particular car, the version 2 of the car is under shipping. So much innovative was the Toyota company. And exactly the name was given, Toyota is the innovation engine of the world. So it's very important that without innovation, you can't survive. Ask the CEOs of the modern companies. Everybody will be talking that they do not see a very big future after 5 to 10 years without much of the innovations. So innovation is very, very important. What I want to mean, survival now depends on innovation. Number 2, why to innovate in 5G and in the telecom sector or in the digital technologies? Very important to know this one. The point is that, say, in the developed countries, talk of United States or the Japan or some countries, if you talk of mobile, talk of broadband, they understand it's another connectivity tool. A part of the country is not connected, get it connected. But in India, we do not consider the mobile or the broadband or the mobile broadband as merely a connectivity tool. It is more a tool for the social inclusion. It is a tool for economic inclusion. We see it as a tool for democratization. We see it for giving the newer opportunities, delivering the government services to the doorsteps of the citizens. So it's very, very important for a country like India. And it's aptly justified that all out efforts, funds, innovations, everything is put behind innovating further and further for the telecom sector, for the 5Gs. The third point is also very important and very interesting. So there is a growing idea worldwide that to become the next superpower of the world, having the military might and the economic might may not be sufficient. A third paradigm now everybody talks, that is the leadership in the digital technologies and the empowerment of the citizens in the digital technologies. Very, very important criteria. And possibly for India, that is exactly the direction we are moving towards. We do want to become the leader, a master of the digital technologies by 2030, and want to ensure that the citizenry as a whole is digitally empowered. The fourth important point, see, there is nothing like a mixed good. As you get the good, even the evil follow it. There is a necessary good in the internet, broadband, and all the cyber networks, but there is an unnecessary evil like cyber frauds, then cyber frauds, then cyber crimes, many different type and the newer varieties of the crimes that are being done on the net and using the net. Numbers are constantly and almost exponentially increasing. The world never heard possibly digital arrest some 2-3 years back even. Today we understand it's almost a common feature. Newer things are coming up. What it means, the scamsters, that they are running ahead of the technology providers. They are exactly where the important thing lies, that if you want to survive in this particular world, you have to be ahead of the scamsters. The service providers need to innovate constantly and at a pace which is faster than the scamster. We all know prevention is better than cure. We use it for fire, but that also an equal fire today. The cyber crimes, the cyber frauds, and the related crimes happening on the net. You'll be surprised to know in 2024-25, total amount stashed away by the scamsters worldwide, and it's a loss to the world, $10.2 trillion. The third largest economy of the world, basically. So it's a global economic crisis. Add to that, now there are many countries which are sponsoring sort of cyber attacks and other things in another country. So it's a national security issue as well. Combine both, it's a financial crisis globally and a national security risk. It is a global crisis today, everybody is facing. So it's very important the countries constantly run after 5G, innovation and 5G, whatever. But it's almost in a virtuous circle, 5G spurs innovation. Innovation, in turn, makes 5G more powerful. A more powerful 5G will make innovation more and more. So it is mostly repeat the cycle, you will get all the virtues more and more. The fourth point, important point I want to say, actually what we have done in India, so far we talk about the innovation, have we done enough or we have not done enough? See, if you look back, starting from 2015, 2016, the flagship programs that the government of India announced, like Digital India, your Startup India, AIM, the Atal Innovation Mission, these are all a very big success. In fact, if you ask me, I think the Digital India is one of the most successful flagship work in the world. To name few, UPI, the GEM Trinity-based DBT, Aadhaar, eSign, government e-marketplace, these are all the contribution of the Digital India. And of course, the broadband, the mobile, the way it is spread all over the country. Startup India started in 2016. Till September 2024, we have 1,49,114. Something around 1,50,000 startups it has generated. Few of them are unicorn and decacorns today. The Atal Innovation Mission, it has created more than 10,000 Atal tinkering clubs and more than 3,500 startups it has generated. I mean, what I want to mean, these are all big successes, but till we are 39, till we are number 6. See some of the recent models of innovation the government started again as a flagship program in 2021, 23, like that. The National Quantum Mission, which came up in 2023. Over the period of 5 years, the government wants to spend something around 6,000 crore, means around $720 million. The India Semiconductor Mission, the ISM, it was launched in 2021, and all of us, we know how important it is to make your own semiconductors. The third is the India AI Mission, launched in 2024, a massive amount of 10,371 crores, $1.2 billion have been kept, and we are moving ahead with the innovation. What I want to mean is progressively, under the brand name of the different mission and the flagship programs, government is spending more and more towards this innovation. It's very, very important and the most welcome steps taken by the government. DoT's initiative, you are aware, we contributed into the Digital India, Make in India. CDOT is one of the premier telecom R&D institution. We have a TTDF, that Telecom Technology Development Fund. Every year, more than 200 different startups and entrepreneurs, they are given that support of the government fund to come up with their own programs and projects. PLI, the production linked incentive. If you are producing something in India and manufacturing, and more so if it is a design-led, so we are giving a heavy amount of support. And of course, only a few days back, the 5G hackathon, it finished on September 15, a 6 months long program where we are getting involved most of the students and the engineering community and the startups in a hackathon, as a 5G hackathon. The point now, whatever we have done, whether this is sufficient enough or what more basically needs to be done. And that is basically my idea I want to share with this. Everybody has their own idea how to make innovation more and more successful in the country. But it's very difficult to talk of a generic solution to the innovation. A solution given for innovation in the agriculture sector will be quite different than the solution that we look for innovation in the telecom sector. So I think instead of going into that, my first the recommendation or my first point is that the way we brought in EODB, you might have known all the government departments and ministries, it was asked to come up with the ease of doing business. Then subsequently it was told to every ministry, every department, come up with your EOL, ease of living. I think now it's the time we force every ministry department come up with EODI, the ease of doing innovation. It's very, very important. Let the specific sector, specific ministry, let them come up with their own, because everybody has their own ecosystem. The structure is different, the dynamics are different, so it will be different for different sector. Yeah, I'll finish in another 1 minute. The second point I just wanted to say, on an average, we understand possibly funding is everything. We don't have fund, so R&D can't happen, innovation can't happen. It's really a wrong perception. The Harvard University, they have $9 billion for the research studies. There are not enough takers. So had the fund been so important for innovation, possibly $9 billion would have been spent. But it's not happening. That means it's not sufficient just to give money. It requires building an ecosystem. It's very important. On the other hand, even not having money is also not good. The world average for spending on innovation is 1.78% of the GDP. I'm talking of the average. Countries like America, countries like Japan or Switzerland, who are in the number 1, 2, or China, they're spending almost nearer to 3. But India spends, which is terribly low, which is just 0.7% of the GDP. So whatever I said, the flagship programs and the monies that has been given, it requires to be doubled up if you want to come nearer to the world average. And you should start actually the Sovereign Innovation Fund with 1 lakh crore, 2 lakh crore, something like that, $15 billion, $30 billion. If you want to see innovation happens at the faster speed. My number 3 point is that, see, mostly in the technological field, when we talk of that, the talents are mostly 3 categories. The talent 1 layer basically comes from the IITs. The talent, the level 2, they basically come from the NITs and some reputed institution. The layer 3 talent basically come from the ordinary institutions. Over the last 70, 80 years since independence, the country has mostly been run by the level 2 talents. We are yet to get the full service of the level 1 talents. It is very important when we talk about highly technological innovation. We now require our talent, that layer 1 talent, possibly who are serving more the world. They're serving USA, they're serving UK, Japan, other countries. Possibly it's a time, how can we get back? That's a point of discussion and debate. You can continue doing it, but their participation would be a mandatory requirement. Why I say so? Even today, if we want to set up a center of excellence, an incubation center, want to take some high technological advice, where do we go? The ultimate destination is an IIT, because we understand the excellence lies there. So it's very important to tap that layer one talent, because we want to become the number one leader in the technology by 2030. My last point, either we do anything or not, either you like or don't like, the world will be moving in the pace. By around 20 to 30, you will be finding a digital revolution. It is a question where India will be doing it or not. Some 3-4 suggestions I gave, I understand that may be very helpful to make it happen by 2030 or even before that. With my best wishes. Thank you.